Hello there, fellow Scorpios. Thank you for stopping by for your video tarot forecast for the week of May 25th through the 31st. I am using the Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg once again, and what we have showing up for us on Monday is the Six of Coins. That just means that on Monday we're going to be asking somebody for a little bit of help. Asking for help can take all kinds of forms. That can be, can you help me make a potato salad for supper? It can be, can you help me with a loan of money so that I can buy some groceries? It can be all kinds of different things, asking for help. So I see this manifesting in all kinds of different ways for us Scorpios. And I don't see this as being something that is a huge emotionally traumatic thing for us to do, to ask for whatever this help is that we ask for on Monday. So, because sometimes when somebody asks for help, it comes out and it just really feels like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I don't feel good asking somebody for help. And it's kind of a big deal to ask for help. This is not coming out as that kind of emotional big deal to ask for help here. Okay. And in fact, in some cases, what I'm hearing is that you asking for help is a way of extending help to someone else to kind of bolster them up, to make them feel like, they're somebody who can contribute in some way. So I feel like sometimes some of us, when we're asking for help on Monday, it will be actually a help to the person we're asking for help. So it's kind of a big convoluted something going on there, but all good. And then Scorpio, what we have coming in on Tuesday, so we have the Five of Clubs, yippee, in reverse. Five of Clubs in reverse just tells me that on Tuesday we're going to find ourselves in some kind of competitive situation that is not healthy for us. Now, this competitive situation can be something that is formal or informal. More likely that it will be informal. And it's something where we are feeling competitive when we really don't need to be in that situation, because this is an unhealthy competition. So when we have an unhealthy competitive situation going on, what we have is we have a situation where we end up feeling torn down and we end up losing self-esteem by the time this is over. There's no productive goal to this competition. It's really all about seeing who can rip the other person up. That's what I'm hearing. Who can rip the other person up the most. So the best thing to do in these situations is to get out of that competition. Now, there's a couple of different reasons why you would get out of a competition like that, besides the obvious, you don't want to be involved in that negative energy. But then the other thing is, nobody wants to be the person that gets all ripped up. And in these types of competitions, nobody gets to escape from that. Okay? And then the other thing is that really, if you think about it, nobody wants to be the person ripping somebody else up either. Because when we go into that mode, when we lower ourselves to that level, what are we doing? We're inducing karma to be coming our way. And it's not the kind of karma that we want to have coming our way. So like I said, this is an unhealthy competitive situation showing up on Tuesday, probably informal, might be formal, but probably informal. As soon as you realize, as soon as you kind of look around and go, wait a second, this is that unhealthy competition Mr. was talking about. Whatever you can do to get out of that situation, you want to back away from it as quickly as you possibly can so that you're just not involved. And even if you see it coming, if you can stay out of it, that is only to your benefit, Scorpios, fellow Scorpios. Okay, so Wednesday, what we have showing up is we have a Two of Coins in reverse. Two of Coins in reverse just means we are going to be busy, 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 busy Wednesday. Very busy. There might even be some things that fall through the cracks if we don't delegate some of our responsibilities to someone else. And I know that that definitely applies to me, because on Wednesdays, I'm always trying to get my videos done. So that's usually the busiest day of my week. And then sometimes, I have readings that come up in between. And then I also have a meeting that I go to on Wednesday night every week. And so Wednesday is literally the busiest day of my week. And this is the kind of thing that we're talking about on Wednesday. We're talking about scheduling, just having so much stuff on our plates on Wednesday. Now, Thursday, what we have showing up is we have the Ace of Coins. The Ace of Coins is a really nice card for us, fellow Scorpios. And the reason it is this is talking about some kind of gift that we're given. So this can be something where we find a $100 bill flapping on the grass out by the sidewalk. Or this could be something where someone literally gives us a gift. And I always like to explain about gifts so that people understand and they're very clear what I'm talking about here. I am not talking about that your paycheck is going to show up in your bank account on Thursday. That is not a gift. Hopefully you've earned that. Okay? And yeah, so I'm not talking about anything you've earned. When somebody gives us something, that gift is coming out of the kindness of their own heart. And so that's what we're looking at on Thursday. Somebody is going to be giving us something that we have in no way earned, and it will just be just because they want to. All right, so that's a good day, actually. Friday, what we have showing up is we have the World card. And the World card really talks about boundaries and limitations in which we operate. And I think that it's really neat that the World card is the card that talks about boundaries and limitations. Because, you know, if you're on top of the world, there's not much boundary or limitation there. If the whole world is at your disposal, there's not much boundary or limitation there. So basically, whenever I see this is talking about boundaries and limitations. This is talking about be aware of your physical world around you. Because that's the boundary and the limitation that we're operating in. Because we're here, we're manifest as physical beings. But for those of you who work law of attraction, you already know this. But even though the world may seem like the boundary, the physical reality around us may seem like the boundary, the physical reality that we have around us is only right now. We are always creating the next physical reality, and we can change, we can affect a change in our physical reality. So the truth is really, the physical reality is not our boundary. The physical reality is just the step that we are standing on right now. But if we work law of attraction, we can move up those steps towards more happiness, towards more fulfillment, towards more security, whatever it is that we want. We don't have to stay where we are now. We don't have to be bound by that physical reality. So it's kind of an ironic thing that actually, as humans with a creative spirit, we're not bound by anything. There are no boundaries. The boundaries that we have are only temporary. They're only just right now in this moment. Okay, so you got my deeper philosophical level going there. I apologize to those of you I just bored. So Saturday, we have the Death card showing up in reverse, fellow Scorpios. This just means that we have some changes that are coming in, and these changes are long overdue is what I'm hearing. So these are changes in core values. These are like the very center of us. These are the values that we learned when we were too young to know any better. We just watched our parents and our teachers interact in the world, and we learned to copycat them. We kind of picked these values up as sponges just by absorption pretty much. And we never really... we weren't in any kind of place to judge them or to think about whether they were effective ways of handling things or not. And so now as we get to be older, we start to realize, wow, some of the ways that I used to operate really don't work for me. They're getting me nowhere, and they're getting me nowhere fast. And so then what we do is we start replacing some of those faulty core values with something that's good and that's productive and that's helpful for us to move forward on our path. Now, what's going on when we have this card in reverse is that we have those changes coming in, and we've recognized them. We see that they're coming in, but we're resisting them. Why would we resist something like that? Because if we don't let this change come in, then everything kind of stays status quo in our life. You know, our jobs stay status quo, our relationships stay status quo. We're comfortable with the status quo. Or at least if we're not comfortable with it, we know how to maneuver in it. Okay, so these changes are going to definitely make us more productive, more happy, but They're also going to change things, and we have this fear of change. They're going to change our relationships, how we view our relationships, and how we interact with other people. They're going to change how we feel about our job. They're going to change how we feel about the amount of respect that people are giving us around us. And so when we have these kind of changes come in, they're major. And so a lot of times we resist these changes because we are afraid of how it's going to affect us in our life. The thing is, if you catch yourself resisting these changes, try not to. Really try to go with the flow. And the reason is that by making these changes, you make it much easier for yourself to move forward on your life path in a much more productive way than what you have been. And you allow yourself to be much happier than what you have been. Okay, so I'm getting off my soapbox on that. Let's move on to Sunday. Sunday, we have the Page of Clubs. This is a message of inspiration. So for a lot of us Scorpios, I think we are going to see some little kid that is just going to be like, they're going to say something, and we're going to be like, oh my God, he's right. And I do feel like for most of us, it is going to be a little boy that says something. A few of you, it'll be a little girl, but most of us, it's going to be a little boy that says something that we just kind of like, it clicks some things into place. And we're just looking at this little person. I mean, we're talking 3 to 5 years old. We're just going to be looking at this little person and going, how did you get so smart? I have decades on you, and you just told me something that I should have known a long time ago. So it's a message of inspiration. When that comes in, it really does inspire us to make some kind of change moving forward. Gives us a new perspective on things. Helps us to be more together as far as what we want, and helps us to be happier in general. So awesome Page of Clubs on Sunday. So Scorpios, that's your week. For those of you who would like to schedule a private session with me, feel free to check out my website. I'm at amista.info, amista.info. Once you're there and you've looked around a little bit, if you still feel like you would like to work with me, then go ahead and contact me, and we will schedule a session for you as quickly as possible. For everybody else, I will see you all here next week. Everyone have a great week. Peace out.